Did you hear that?
Congratulations! You're watching ESN, your source for everything news, views, and reviews that you can use. So buckle up, Buttercup, for this edition of Rapid Fire. Did you recently read the article about Tyson Food Company partnering with an insect protein company? Oh, this is exciting. News break, read all about it. Arkansas-based meat producer Tyson Foods recently formed a partnership with an insect protein company to create food from insect parts. Now that sounds delicious. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you'll eat the bugs and like it. Well, they're going to make sure of it. Is this going into human food, though, or is this just going in food for livestock and pets? Well, let's read about this here and see what Newsbreak has to say. Arkansas-based meat producer Tyson formed a partnership with an insect protein company to create food from insect parts. That news, however, has gotten customers concerned that they'd be eating bug parts injected into their chicken or other meat products. So Tyson sets the record straight. Tyson Foods addresses the concerns about their new partnership with Protix. You like that name? Do they use ticks? Yeah. With Protix, saying the intent was to produce food made from insects strictly for animals, not humans. Don't worry. Even though they want you to eat the bugs and like it, they're not going to put bug parts in your chicken yet. Our investment in Protix is an opportunity to upcycle food manufacturing byproducts from our supply chain into high-quality insect proteins. A Tyson Foods spokesman said, according to KTVB, products will be used as a sustainable ingredient within premium pet food. Not the cheap stuff, but the premium stuff gets insect parts, and as sustainable protein alternatives for aquatic organisms, such as salmon and shrimp. These products are not being added to food intended for human consumption. Not intended, they say. Well, I'm glad it's not intended for human consumption. That makes me feel better. Tyson Foods and Protix announced in October that they would construct an insect ingredient facility in the United States, which will primarily be used in the pet food and aquaculture, as well as livestock industries. The to-be-built facility in the United States will house an enclosed system to support all aspects of insect protein production, including the breeding, incubating, and hatching of insect larvae. The company stated in a joint press release, in addition to ingredients for the aquaculture and pet food industries, processed larvae may also be used as ingredients within livestock and plant feed. Protix's website doesn't list any human food among its products, but it does say they sell insect-based protein meal that can be used in kibble, wet food, treats, or fish food. Now, you've also got Protix products of insect oils that are perfect for healthy and sustainable feed for livestock, fish, and pets. Tyson Foods doesn't list any insect-based food products on its website. They just highlight their long-standing business in the poultry, pork, and cattle industries. And now, bug parts. Well, Protix. This is Protix.eu. Protix.eu. The leading insect company. Protix is the world leader in insect ingredients. Yay! We believe that feeding the growing world population should go hand in hand with protecting our beautiful planet. A huge challenge? Fortunately, the solution lies in nature itself. Insect power. Insects provide low-footprint proteins and other nutrients that can be processed into more sustainable feed and food. Since 2009, we have been perfecting the insect ingredients that help feed and food manufacturers bring healthy and sustainable nutrition to the world. This is our call to all caring heroes like you. We need people like you to eat the bugs. Don't just give bugs to your pets. Don't just give bugs to the livestock. It's now time for you to eat the bugs. Okay? You're the hero. You're the game changer. You're the innovator. Join Protix mission to bring food system back into balance with nature. Eat the bugs. All right, how do the bugs feel about that? I don't think they're too happy about it. They're a part of nature, aren't they? Maybe have you asked the bug's opinion? Like a bug's life? Maybe, bugs' lives matter too, we're all going to have to be breatharians pretty soon because there's so many of us, they say. So anyway, in California, they just passed that law or the bill allowing for direct filtration from wastewater. Oh, yeah. And to drinking water. Forget letting it go downstream. Just purify it. Oh, yeah. They need your pee. All right. Next article, The Economist. China's quest to become a robot superpower. Motivated by pride and pressing demographic challenges, China is on a mission to become a robot superpower. Many of the country's newly installed robots are mechanical arms that can be programmed to weld, drill, and assemble components on a production line. It's pretty cool. It's also kind of scary. Now, Terminator, the film Terminator, I think is kind of 80s. And when I mean that like retro, because when the world gets to a point that robots can make robots, they're probably not going to waste their time making Terminators. They could be far more efficient and do far more with other platforms. They wouldn't even need to build robots. They could just hack into 3D printers and print themselves, like little microbots that could bounce around. And how would you like to look up your search today, Bob? I am your microbot search engine for you, 3D printed for your pleasure. Okay, China's quest to become a robot superpower. The population shrinks. Well, I mean, they've still got over 1 billion people there, so I don't think they're too worried about population. But China's first attempt in building a humanoid robot didn't necessarily hit the mark. The machine produced in 2000 by a team at the National University of Defense Technology looked like a walking toaster, but the toast was made perfectly. It had googly eyes, cannon-like protuberances near its crotch called Xiang Xing Z, or Forerunner. It was mocked in neighboring Japan because they already had Transformers, which at the time boasted far sleeker robots. Japanese netizens described it as China's secret weapon designed to make its enemies die of laughter. So, I mean, they didn't hit the mark the first time, but they're getting more advanced. They're getting better. They've stuck with it. And in November, the government published a plan calling for mass production of humanoid robots, or humanoids, by 2025. The country's love of robots goes beyond those that can walk and talk. Last year, half of all the industry robots installed worldwide were fitted in China. According to the International Federation of Robotics, an industry body, it is now the 5th most automated country in the world when measured by robots per worker. Motivated by pride and pressing demographic challenges, China is on a mission to become a robot superpower. Sign up for The Economist for the full story. Let's go to the next one. Breakthrough technology for terahertz waves, 6G communication, because 5G isn't enough. Trust me, you need 6G. Why not 7G? Now, 6G uses terahertz communications, or terahertz waves, I should say, for communications. And they want to use humans as antennas for a more robust system that works even better. Why not? Because as the article says, humans have so much wasted space. It's like, there's so much wasted mass in the human body that why don't we just turn them into an antenna for 6G? We won't even have to hook up as many cell towers. People will feel better. They'll be like, where did all the cell towers go, Bob? You're the cell tower now, buddy. Oh, I'm the cell tower. Yeah, it's amazing. Doesn't it feel great? Yeah, I got terahertz waves going through my body. It's awesome. So listen to this. A team of researchers led by Professor Hyung Ryal Park from the Department of Physics at UNIST has introduced a technology capable of amplifying terahertz electromagnetic waves by over 30,000 times. Well, I mean, because 29,000 times isn't enough. They need it to be amplified 30,000 times. A team of researchers did just that. Now, by integrating AI learning based on a physical theoretical model, the team has enabled the efficient design of terahertz nanoresonators on personal computers, a process that was previously time-consuming and demanding even with supercomputers. Through a series of terahertz electromagnetic wave transmission experiments, the team evaluated the efficiency of the newly developed nanoresonator. The results were astounding, with the electric field generated by the terahertz nanoresonator surpassing general electromagnetic waves by over 30,000 times. This achievement represents an incredible efficiency improvement of over 300% compared to previously reported terahertz nanoresonators. And then next, I mean, at this pace, it went from 300 to 30,000 times. 300% to 30,000 times. So what's next? Traditionally, the AI-based inverse design technology focused on designing optical device structures with invisible or infrared areas, which were only a fraction of the wavelength. However, applying this technology to the 6G communication frequency range of 0.075 to 0.3 terahertz presented significant challenges due to the much smaller scale, approximately 1 millionth the size of the wavelength, explained Professor Park. So to overcome the challenges, the researchers devised an innovative approach by combining new terahertz nanoresonators with an AI-based inverse design method based on a physical theoretical model. This approach enabled the optimization of the device in less than 40 hours, even on personal computers. And this was compared to the previously required tens of hours for a single simulation or potentially hundreds of years for a single device optimization. Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Read all about it. Breakthrough technology amplifies terahertz waves for 6G communication. Tech Explorer. Next article. Humans on Titan. Interesting how this article comes out today, because last week I was just saying, what if the mythologies of Titan or the mythologies of the Titans, is there a connection to the moon Titan that orbits Saturn? Well, if you look at Titan, it kind of has like an Earth vibe to it. Now, the atmosphere is supposed to be much denser. The gravity is supposed to be much more extreme. So to survive in that environment, your body would have to be much stronger. So my mind goes into the film industry, and I think of movies like Superman, where, Superman goes to Earth and then he becomes Superman because of the difference of Earth versus the planet that he came from. Now, that's just pure speculation, but I do think it's pretty cool that about a week ago I said, hey, what if Titan has very powerful, what if there's a very high level advanced civilization on Titan right now? And what if these civilizations, these beings, these peoples are so highly advanced and so strong that if we were to meet them, some people might look at them like gods or demigods. It's very interesting. So, all right, let's take away the speculation for a minute. Let's get back to the news. The travel time would be so long that an expedition would need to be pretty massive, Dr. Barnes tells Universe Today. Although astronauts would be safe on Titan's surface from radiation, they would be subject to damage from solar storms en route, at least while in the inner solar system. So let's take a look at this, Universe Today. Universe Today recently examined the potential for sending humans to Jupiter's icy moon, Europa, and the planet Venus, both despite their respective harsh surface environments. While human missions to these exceptional worlds could be possible in the future, what about farther out in our solar system, to a world much less harsh, with much less harsh surface conditions? Although still inhospitable for human life, here we investigate whether Saturn's largest moon, Titan, could be a feasible location for sending humans sometime in the near future. Titan lacks the searing temperatures and crushing pressures of Venus, along with the harsh radiation experienced on Europa. So, should we send humans to Titan? Yeah, let's go. Well, guess what? Dr. Jason Barnes also says yes. A professor in the Department of Physics at the University of Idaho excitedly tells Universe Today Titan is the second safest place in the solar system after Earth. Oh, what a coincidence. It's protected from radiation, it's pressurized, and has great science to be gained by crewed exploration. Sounds like fun. There was a film that just came out where a guy was genetically modified so that he could actually live on Titan. And then I think the Air Force had this project where they genetically modified him so his body changed enough to be able to survive in the conditions on Titan. But if I remember right, he kind of turned into like this merman, and he went into this ocean. So it might not have been Titan. It might have been one of the moons of Saturn or Jupiter. But this is fascinating because this is another thing we've been talking about for years, about the possibility that Enceladus harbors life. Not just microbiological life, but a very advanced aquatic ecosystem. Let's look at what the JPL article here says from jpl.nasa.gov. NASA Cassini data reveals building block for life in Enceladus ocean. Phosphorus, a key chemical element for many biological processes, has been found in icy grains emitted by the small moon and is likely abundant in its subsurface ocean. Using data collected by NASA's Cassini mission, and an international team of scientists has discovered phosphorus, this essential chemical element for life. It's locked inside salt-rich ice grains ejected into space from Enceladus. Now, salt, another key ingredient for life. We are the oceans, according to this article, as a metaphor. Oceanmissions.org. All of us have in our veins the exact same percentage of salt in our blood that exists in the ocean. And therefore, we have salt in our blood, in our sweat, in our tears. We are tied to the ocean. And when we go back to the sea, whether it is to sail or to watch it, we're going back from whence we came. John F. Kennedy. Oh, that's where that quote came from. So it's a quote. It's a quote from John F. Kennedy. And it's a pretty cool quote. 2007, the real estate market crashed. Hundreds of thousands of homes went into foreclosure. Multiple subprime lenders declared bankruptcy. The market required government bailouts. The market slowed down for years. Home sales were pretty flat in many areas for a long time. And some people, much smarter than myself, are forecasting an even bigger crash in the near future. Now, is this going to happen? I don't know. So it's always going to be prepared, not scared. But let's just take a look at what some of these articles say real quick. Prices increased once again in September, according to the latest S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Home Price Index, with a 3.9% jump that represents the 8th month in a row of gains. In another reflection of ongoing increases, the National Association of Realtors reports that median home prices as of October were up more than 3% over last year, the 4th month in a row of year-over-year jumps. So much for the idea that a housing recession would reverse some of the outsized pricing gains in homes. The U.S. housing market had finally started slowing in late 2022, and home prices seemed poised for a correction, but a strange thing happened on the way to the housing market crash. Home values started rising again. Well, I'll tell you this much. I think it's really a big part of where you live, because in some of the rural areas, like I'm looking at prices on houses and they're dropping substantially. Every time I go up to Zillow or Truilla, the prices continue to drop, whether it's land or houses. You know, these are certain areas, obviously. But as I was saying in the previous podcast that I did, we were looking at buying a house and we were looking at just the difference in interest rate. Just the extra money that we had to pay on interest per month was an additional $1,000+ a month. Actually, more than that. It was about $1,500 extra a month versus when interest rates were just smoking hot a few years ago. So like we see this huge shift, right? We're not seeing the free money being thrown out anymore and all of these government bailouts. We're starting to kind of see where the pieces are going from an observational point of view. And wow. So glad that there's many opportunities and there's an opposite and equal reaction to every action. Thank you for watching. Hit that bell for all notifications. We update podcasts every single day. And, you know, here at ESN, IC News, we like to be prepared, not scared. We question everything. We think you should too. We do our own research, as should you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being the change the world needs to see. Happy holidays.